for tonight's matches. We have the first game para sa ating second set. Gaya na sinabi ko kanina, IPT Blue versus the Acclaim Empire.
Yes. So, ayun nga pala guys, pag natapos na ang ating pick and ban phase, so once the last champion is locked in, magbubukas na ang ating poll for the watch and win. And also, would like to remind you na hindi pa lumalabas ang ating match and win code for tonight. So, keep watching and maybe you'll get lucky this time. Get that skin. Surprise siya.
So,
as a surprise.
And also yung match and win natin is about one code na nalalabas randomly sa ating sa whole stream natin ngayon. So up until now, hindi pa rin siya lumalabas. Meron siyang one missing letter or number.
Yes.
Nahuhulaan ninyo or syempre, sasagutin ninyo para itong ma-input ninyo siya. And of course, random yung skin. Pwedeng super legendary or super mythical. Ano difference sa super sa hindi super, no? Pero, ayun nga. So, abang-abang lang kayo dyan. And of course, we have the watch and win. Sinabi kayo na ni GM Kyrux na ilalagay nyo yan sa ating mag-fill up kayo ng form sa ating from the Pro Gaming Series Facebook fan page. And of course, kung sino mananalo, magkakaroon ng random winners. We have, I think, 10? 15 ba?
15
winners of 150 RP.
Yes, so looking into the pick and ban phase of IPT and Empire X Acclaim, we see that IPT banned out Jarvan the 4th, Annie, and Graves, and for Empire Acclaim, they banned out the Blanc, Lucian, and Gragas.
Ooh.
Yes, so etong Jarvan ban actually coming from IPT is, I think, a targeted ban, most probably for haste, because last week actually he had an explosive performance with that top lane Jarvan. Impressive play coming from him. Sobrang lakas ng bawas, as in he had no tanky items. Oo, kahit wala siyang tanky items, talagang full on head on, ano lang, sugod lang na sugod, diba?
Para siyang super burst AD champion.
Yes, exactly. Yes, kahit na nerf yung kanyang E ability, reducing the armor that Jarvan has, hindi nabawasan yung kanyang damage potential. That's why Jarvan is still a contested pick sometimes, lalo na kung laning ang pag-uusapan dito. So, hindi siya masyadong effective as a jungler right now for me, but then, you know, he can opt for the mid or the top lanes as well.
And kung di ako nagkakamali, ang kalaban niya sa top lane is Katarina. That's
isa rin yan. Yes, isa pa yun sa mga reason. Kahit na sobrang mobile nitong Katarina pick last week, hindi pa rin niya napigilan yung rampage nitong si Empire X Acclaim Haste with that Jarvan of his. So, right now, IPT picking first pick, Severe, and Empire X Acclaim prioritizing Morgana and Lulu as their champions. So medyo support-oriented ang kanilang lineup coming in with the Lulu. Maybe can go to mid or top lane as well as a support actually.
Ito lang yung napansin ko sa Empire sa Empire Acclaim X. I think medyo ang napansin ko sa kanilang lineup dito strategy usually is last time ginamit nila si Sejuani as their jungler. They also have Morgana for the mid lane and ang kanilang support that time, I think it was kung di ako nagkakamali ay si Alistar.
Yes.
Yeah. So, ang mapapansin natin, puro AOE, crowd control, AOE support, champions ang meron sila dito. So, I think since they are trying to hover itong si Sejuani as well as, of course, Hecarim, mukhang ganoon na naman ang gagawin nila.
Yeah, and looks like they also have they have so much CC coming in with Morgana, coming in with Lulu, Sejuani, and the Hecarim. So, napakalakas ng kanilang crowd control, and I think they need an AD carry that can burst out some damage as well.
Parang yun yung kulang sa
yun yung kulang kasi they need to follow up. Diba? Hindi naman pwedeng puro CC lang, diba? Ma-lockdown mo nga yung kalaban, but then if you don't have the damage to carry on the task of eliminating the opponent, then, you know, pointless yung pag-pick nyo ng mga CC champions.
And looking at the champions of IPT Blue, they have Nunu as well as Maokai. These two champion, very tanky champion. I think it would be very effective for their team kung magkataon na they manages to get enough item for their champions. They also have Severe para sa kanilang AD carry role, which would go for Kinzon. And I think kapag ginamit niya yung kanyang ultimate skill, another champion, I think, parang utility champion din siya kasi for the AD carry role.
Yes. Actually, ito yung katuparan na hindi nagawa ng Naga. Because if you remember from last week, Naga was actually banned out from using Severe, Azir, and Serath. And this is actually what they wanted to do before. They wanted a Severe, an Azir, and a Nunu. That would be a super hyper carry composition that would dominate the late game.
Sobrang grabe yung pang-chase nila dito. No? Imagine kapag ginamit ni Kinzon or itong si Severe yung kanyang ultimate skill, they have the movement speed that could chase down their opponent dito. They have Nautilus, Maokai that could lock up their opponent.
Yes.
Very effective lineup for the IPT Blue.
Yes. So, plus the Nautilus, so additional peel as well as engaging capabilities. But I think the plan of IPT here is to drag this longer than, you know, maybe to the late game to maximize the potential of the Nunu Azir combination right here. Plus, Severe assuring them that, you know, if they want to eject out of a team fight in the mid game, they have an assurance because of the thrill of the hunt. I mean, the hunt. On the hunt.
Yes, the on the hunt.
Yeah, the on the hunt.
Adding lang for the lineup of the Empire, no? I think medyo mahirapan sila dito picking up a Vayne as the
yes, exactly.
They have the Azir.
Yeah.
Wow, medyo
think,
problematic
yeah,
for them.
I mean, I don't think Vayne would be the best AD carry at this situation right now. So
kahit may Lulu sila, kahit may Morgana sila, this is going to be very hard for their team to win this game.
Yeah.
Pero yes, nag-lock na ang ating mga champions. I think nag-open na kanina pa ang ating
Ito, kakabukas lang actually ng watch and win natin.
Yes.
Since the last champion has been locked in and the delay has been going on for like 8 seconds.
So, Facebook fan page ng ating Pro Gaming Series, nandun ang ating Google Form. At at inyong fill-upan lang ang ating form dito kung sino ang inyong bet na team. So, kung sino yung manalo na team, sa kanila mag-umpisa yung ating raffle. So, the more entries you have,
pa-isa-isa
the more chances of winning. Pero, I think, ano ba yun? Isa lang ba yun?
Yeah, isa-isa.
Pang-isa-isa lang pala.
Yeah. So it's actually pure luck by pure luck na pwede ka manalo through the watch and win.
Yes, so habang naghihintay tayo ng ating delay, ini-invite ko lahat ng mga summoners na bumisita sa atin bukas sa Animax Convention. So,
sa SMX actually.
SMX.
Yeah,
so,
SMX.
Andun ka.
I'll be there tomorrow.
Invite mo sila.
Yun, kung pupunta kayo sa Animax bukas, which is in SMX, you could visit our booth right there. I think like and share the page, and you know, you could get freebies. So ayun, easy lang, 'di ba? Mapapadaan lang kayo. Come and say hi, and
I think meron siyang 200 ticket doon. So para makapasok kayo sa SMX.
Yeah, pero I think sulit naman yung 200 kasi sa dami ng pwede mong makita, dami ng pwede mong mabili, 'di ba?
Hindi lang, halimbawa, so yung 200 pwede mo ipangkain yan. So mabubusog ka. Doon kapag bumili ka ng ticket, 200, hindi lang yung tiyan mo mabubusog, pati ang mata mo.
Yun. So wise words coming from Gigi's Fear right here.
Just kidding, guys. Pero punta kayo doon sa linggo, nandun din naman ako.
Yeah.
I think buong araw yun.
Yeah,
so punta na lang kayo doon. Okay, so the match in, sinabi natin kanina yung ating match and win.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's proceed sa ating lineup for the IPT Blue and the Empire.
Yeah, so yun nga, kinover natin actually yung parang main points nung compositions ng IPT and Empire X Acclaim. I think Empire X Acclaim has the advantage early mid-game. Lalo na kanilang team composition is more of a team fighting. However, you know, the Vayne medyo na out of place siya doon. And I think they could have done a better job, you know, maybe picking a, maybe Draven.
Pwede yung mga Graves siguro.
Yeah, kaso ban si Graves and Lucian.
Ayun pala.
Yeah, maybe Corki would actually do well in this time of composition.
Siguro si Ez, pero medyo mahirap nga.
Yeah, mahirap si Ez since medyo nagre-rely siya sa poke niya and parang hindi siya nakaka-capture lahat nung ano, and he doesn't really deal that much damage in a parang bursty or parang in a short span of time. I think Draven could have filled the gap more, or maybe something like Kog'Maw, because they have a Lulu and a Morgana, you know, and they could peel with Hecarim, and they have a Sejuani. So okay na mag-fit din ang Kog'Maw dito. But they opted for a Vayne, which is quite weird in my opinion.
Tingin ko lang din dito for the Empire, no? They have to make sure that this Sejuani and Hecarim could get enough tanky items to make sure that they could survive, because silang dalawa lang talaga yung frontline dito. They can't let Lulu or at least Morgana to dive in sa mga laban na ito. That would be very dangerous for them. Hindi ako confident sa ganitong lineup for the Empire, pero we'll see what might happen dito. They still have the Lulu, they still have the Morgana to support their comrades if ever na magkaroon ng chance to dive in. Pero, well, for the lineup of IPT Blue, what can you say naman doon?
Well, for IPT Blue, as I have said earlier, it's a late game-centric composition, which, you know, they plan to feed Azir as well. Azir is actually the main person, the point person here for IPT. If he gets fed, they win. If he doesn't, you know, that's it.
They still have the Severe dito, pero
yeah, but then it's
not
Severe.
As much as effective.
Yeah, Severe is actually just a supporting character to Azir in this lineup. So
yun nga, no, parang since mina-mention mo itong si Azir yung kailangan nila i-fit dito. So I think sa kanilang lineup dito, they only have Azir and Severe that could give enough damage for their team. The rest puro tanky nila.
Yes. So yun nga, I think they should avoid early game engages, early to mid game skirmishes and team fights. That way, you know, they could assure themselves that they could go to the late game safely, and that's where they will shine eventually. So if IPT manages to outward and outrun the mid game and early game potential coming from Empire X Acclaim, then they could win this game.
Well, we'll see kung ano possible na gawin dito ng Team IPT Blue as well as the Acclaim Empire X. So, nag-post na ang ating game. I think nag-ayos sila ng mga settings. Medyo pupusin sana tayo sa ating lineup kanina.
Yeah.
Pero, ayun lang, no? I think this is the first game na makikita natin for this season itong IPT.
Yes, it's actually the debut game for them in this season.
And they have the, I think, bagong AD carry na si Kinzon. Ito yung kaysa isang member nila na binago nila.
Yes.
Still the same. They have Yux, Rebenka, Chok, they have Shadow as well.
Yes.
Pero we'll see kung kaya nga bang tapatan itong IPT Blue yung performance na ginagawa ng IPT as of the moment.
Yes.
I think 1-1 yung score nila before.
Yeah.
Nung last week ba?
Last week, yeah.
Last week, tama.
No, actually 0 points yet. Kasi diba they fought against GameX War Gods.
Oo, tama.
And
so,
they got 2-0'd by GameX War Gods. A really strong performance coming from GameX War Gods.
Iba talaga yung GameX War Gods ngayon.
Oo, kasi all-star sila, Brad. Like, si top lane, diba? JLC.
Para sila pinagsama-samang ano eh.
Oo, diba? All-stars sila eh. Parang, kumbaga sa NBA, diba? Western, Eastern All-Stars.
Yes.
Diba? Kumbaga, Mineski yung parang West-East. Diba? Mineski and GameX War Gods.
Pero we'll see kung ano mangyayari dito. We still have enough time for the Pro Gaming Series para malaman kung sino magka-champion.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
This is it, Pansit, mga kaibigan. Match between the IPT Blue versus the Empire Acclaim X. We have, of course, the IPT Yux for top lane, Maokai. We have Rebenga for the jungle, Nunu. We have Chok for the mid lane. Of course, we have Azir. Severe for the ADK role as Kinzon. And Shadow for Nautilus in bottom lane.
And for Acclaim Empire X, we have a top lane, Hecarim in the hands of Haste. We have Tam in that jungle, Sejuani. We have Lucy in that mid lane, Lulu. And for the bottom side, we have Mihawk and Cannon with Vayne and Morgana.
Yes, I think naman, no, to add lang sa mga analysis natin kanina. Okay, so, yun nga. Add ko lang sa ating lineup dito for the Acclaim Empire X.
Hindi mo pwedeng kalimutan yung X.
Oo,
Empire X.
Wala bang shortcut? Like X na lang?
EX. I think it's Empire X talaga.
Sige, Empire X na lang. Medyo mahaba kasi for i-add pa natin. Ayun na naman yung nangyayari, no? Usually, double ward. At least, diba? 2 is better than 1. So, the more wards, the better the vision.
And okay, guys, ito na ang match and win code for tonight. So, you should guess the missing character. Input nyo lang dun sa may store, dun sa may code dun area, yun yung pinakababa. And, you know, you'd get a skin after you guess it right. So, the code for tonight is TWOA_MJBI7YOI4 O and C. So, ayun guys, nandito siya sa screen nyo. You just gotta type it down and, you know, you might win a skin if you guess it right.
Random skin yan, no? Possible na sobrang gandang skin yan or possible na maganda pa din yung skin na yan. So, kaya unahan na lang sa paghula, mga kaibigan. And kung mawalaan nyo yan, kung gusto nyo, i-post nyo yan sa ating PGS Rift official Facebook group. So, doon nyo na lang ipakita kung ano yung nakuha. Kasi ako naiintriga din ako kung ano yung makukuha ninyo. So, okay, let's proceed sa ating game matchup for today, for tonight. Okay, so far we still have the bottom lane, the IPT Blue, Acclaim Empire X.
Yes.
Alright, mga kaibigan, early gank coming from Empire Tam dito, mga kaibigan. Still, they have to use that flash. Worth gank, I think, since he manages to burn the flash from Shadow.
Yeah, so that was a good strategy actually coming from Empire X Acclaim. Habang nagja-jungle itong si Nunu sa top with that, yung kanyang blue side. So, immediately kinuha ng Empire X yung red buff and ganking that, and converting that to a gank, eventually causing Shadow to burn his flash. So that's a -1 summoner spell coming from IPT. So, medyo at an advantage na ang Empire X dito sa bottom side. But then, you know, para bawi-bawi tayo dito kay Rebenga. Rebenga trying to take this red buff. I think he'd be successful in that one.
He's chasing down Yux in the top lane, and Ignite he has been burned out. Of course, the first blood would go for Haste in the top lane.
Yes, so mapapansin nyo na naka-Doran's Blade itong si Haste, which is quite an unusual item for a Hecarim to wear early on in the game. I think he could have like opted for a Crystalline Flask, but you know, a Doran's Blade may be an option as well. Pero in terms of efficiency, I could have like gotten a you know,
Hook is connected to Cannon dito. Cannon in the bottom lane trying to disengage. He's taking a lot of damage from the boomerang of Kinzon in the bottom lane.
That was a good strategy actually coming from Mihawk. No, once Shadow caught Cannon with that anchor of his, he immediately dove towards Kinzon and traded with him. Kasi Vayne can actually have an advantage against Severe early on in the trades.
Yes, once again, Shadows who connected to Mihawk in the bottom lane. And ito yung maganda for Shadow up until now, no? 2 hooks out of, actually 2 out of 2 is does connect in the bottom lane dito sa laban nila.
Yeah, but what matters actually is that yung hooks na nagko-connect, it means something. You get an advantage for that. Yung hindi lang yung parang tumama ka, nag-hook ka nga, pero wala naman talagang nangyari, walang positive effect for your team. So, I think it's okay. Pero yun yung nagka-count talaga as a Nautilus player. And we also see that yung kanina, first blood coming from Haste right there in the top lane. I think he got the first blood because of the advantage of experience because he got the wolves from their side of the map. So that one level advantage as compared to what Yux has really meant something, garnering him that kill. And we also see here Nunu trying to maybe gank the mid lane. Actually,
yung pressure coming from Chong in the mid lane against Lulu. And even though we're seeing that pareho sila ng CS dito, knowing Azir, talagang hindi siya ganun na kailangan, hindi siya close combat champion eh.
Yeah.
He can still keep his distance while dishing a lot of damage against his opponent. And addition lang doon sa top lane for Hecarim with the Doran's Blade. I think isang reason kung bakit nag-Doran's Blade siya is he know na lamang siya against Yux because he has the Ignite and walang Ignite itong si Yux dito.
That is true. That is true. I think that's also a valid point to make that kaya siya nakikipag-trade early on because he knows that he can win those trades with the Doran's Ring, Maokai in the top lane. That's a valid point actually. And
niya din, no?
Yeah, actually Hecarim medyo malambot din early game, di ba? Hindi naman siya ganun katanky if depending on your masteries and runes. But then, Hecarim is not really known for being a tanky champion early on until he gets those tanky items.
Yes,
after the
nakakatawa
Triforce.
yung playstyle ni Mihawk in the bottom lane. Even though he is using Vayne, a champion that sobrang late ng range niya. Kung di ako nagkakamali, itong si Mihawk nakakuha ng pentakill nung parang summer split or nung season split natin dito. So, same with, ang ginamit niyang champion doon is si Graves. So, ginamit din niyang champion yun against the Infuse.
Yeah.
Na nanalo sila. So, we'll see kung ano yung magiging strategy niya ngayon.
Oh, wow!
Good gank here coming from Rebenga in the mid lane. However, he have to use that wild growth top lane as well. It's being taken down by the other members of the Empire X. Yux taking so much damage. Will they be able to secure this kill? And yes, they manages to kill one champion. However, in the bottom lane, another clash from the IPT Blue. Mihawk have to disengage. Wow.
Medyo nahihirapan na po si GG Spear sa dami ng action.
Napakaraming action. After sa taas, bumaba na naman sila. Grabe. Wow, 2-0 score in favor of the Empire X.
Yes, so nakita natin yung gank kanina sa mid lane, no? IPT Rebenga trying to gank Lucy in the middle lane. However, he doesn't deal much damage, and Azir as well. Wala pa kasi sila masyadong damage items. And, Azir is a late game champ, so not much damage he can bring into the field early game. Plus Nunu as well. Lalo na kanyang snowball, medyo low damage siya. And if we can see, he actually maxes out the consume, which gives his focus more into counter jungling. Yeah, he's leveling up consume. And if you're going for a jungle Nunu with consume maxed out, you're going for a counter jungling strategy, not ganking. Because if you decide to max out snowball, that would be the time when you could have more gank potential. But if you max out consume, your goal is to go to the opposing side of jungle and get as many jungle minions as you can and deny the opponent's jungle as much experience and gold.
Parang ginagamit lang niya yung kanyang snowball to slow.
Yeah, it's more CC. CC than it's more of a CC option rather than a damage option.
Yes. So, magandang rotation coming from the other members of the Empire X dito, no? They are outplaying itong IPT Blue as of the moment with regards to the ganks coming from Tam, especially the top lane kanina. Right now, level 6 na itong si Yux, but kanina level 5 siya, while level 6 na si Haze after what happened in top lane dito. With that 0-2 score, nakakatuwa yung performance ng Empire X because of, they had the advantage as of the moment. Take note, muntik na makuha ng IPT Blue yung first Dragon of the game.
Yes.
But because of the
contest,
from the Garena,
yes.
they have to stop them.
Yeah, of course. Kasi you don't want to be so sure. Or parang if the opponent someone from the opposing side gets you, okay, hold that thought.
Here comes Rebenga, mga kaibigan dito, top lane dito. Yux, you have to use that Arcane Smash. However, of course, with the haste, using his ultimate skill, you have to disengage.
Yes. So, ayan, parang nagsaserve as double purpose yung Onslaught of Shadows nitong si Haste, no? Aside from the fact na it can engage, it can also disengage. And right now, hindi naman niya masyadong kailangan nung kanyang Onslaught of Shadows, lalo na wala pa masyadong nangyayaring team fights ngayong early game. It's more of Tam rotating to the lanes to make some plays. And I think his goal right now is to just pressure and snowball Ukes here in the top lane.
Yes, the Glacial Prison is up for Tam dito. Rebenga once again ganking the top lane. Pero dahil sa ginamit na Haste sa kanyang hasty movement speed in the top lane, managed to disengage. Ang napapansin ko lang dito, no, I think maganda nga naman talaga yung IPTB in the bottom lane. Kapag nagkataon na nag-level 6 na kagad si Shadow dito. And good thing for the Empire X is that they could use the spell shield to block yung possible na ultimate skill from Shadow later.
So we can see Empire X trying to take this dragon right here. A teleport comes in.
From both top laners, mga kaibigan dito. Tam have to use that like the Glacial Prison for the other members of IPT. Lucy will go down. IPT Chong, they're still chasing them down, mga kaibigan. Mihawk, nasa loob ang ADR ng Empire X dito. And it's a 2 for non-exchange in favor of the IPT Blue.
That was a good team fight coming from IPT. Without, you know, Hecarim wasn't there. He doesn't have his ultimate. He could have ported, but then he couldn't have done much because wala siya nung Onslaught of Shadows. And looks like humahabol ito.
Okay, sobrang bilis, mga kaibigan. They have this at Ignite to secure another kill. It's a 2 for 3. 2 for 1.
Yes, so Kinzon actually overstaying right there. And, you know, trying to poke down. I'm not sure what he wanted to do because they got the objective. I mean, there was no point for him to stay in that area much longer. That's why he got killed at position by Haste. So medyo nahiwalay siya dun sa mga teammates niya dun. And it was supposed to be a flawless team fight coming from IPT early game. And that's not what Empire X wants. Because Empire X has the advantage early to mid game because of the CC potential of their champions. However, if they would not be able to use the potential that they have, then, you know, it would just be IPT's game. So we can see also Azir sporting a 101 KDA and building a Morellonomicon, but then he decided to build for a needlessly large rod just because he has the cash to do it. So that
was, ano, talagang necessity para kay Azir. Azir yung pagkuha ng Morellonomicon.
Yes, it is. It is a necessity.
Very effective cooldown reduction for his champion.
Yeah, plus mana. Kasi medyo mana dependent itong si Azir. May build actually si Daigo coming from Naga. Yung last split na Azir niya, he actually builds Tear of the Goddess first item for Azir just to satisfy the mana consumption of his abilities. And it's sobrang lakas nung ganung build kapag if you plan to take it out of the late game.
Nag-miss yung Dark Binding coming from Canon dito na bottom lane because of the Condemn.
Yes, so medyo nagkaroon yata ng konting pagkakaiba, communication error coming from Empire X right there.
Well, that's because they have 2 brains on a different shell. I'm so sorry. Never mind. Pero ngayon nga, 2-3 pa rin ang ating scores of the moment. And I think maganda naman ang ginagawa ng Empire ngayon, sustaining the bottom lane.
Yes.
Pero nakita natin sa CS na lamang si Kinzon having the 103 to 82 CS 20, almost 20 na ang ating CS gap between these two champions.
Yeah, this stems down actually from the range of Severe. Difference between the ranges.
Here comes the Soul Shackle, mga kaibigan. From Canon, nag-miss yung kanyang Sebastian Glacial Prison, but they managed to turn it around. Wow! Good performance coming from the IPT Blue dito. Nuno Rebenga trying to respond. Tam will go down. The Absolute Zero has been cast by Rebenga dito. Double kill for Kinzon. Lucy trying to respond. Canon will be able to disengage sa laban na ito. And yes.
Yes.
Thanks for the memories. Bye. Empire dito. Galit na galit mga kaibigan si Kinzon. They still have choke from the backline using those soldiers to stop them from disengaging. The turret will try to help them, but Kinzon manages to earn 3 kills, mga kaibigan. And it's a 4 unofficial quadra kill for Kinzon. And they're getting this first tier turret in the bottom lane.
Grabe, ang ganda nung pagkaka-respond ng members ng IPT doon. It started actually when Acclaim Tam missed that Glacial Prison. It was then that Empire X lost that trade. If, you know, they managed to take Kinzon and the Shadow through that Glacial Prison, then they could have won that trade. However, it was just too late for them. You know, they actually decided to commit under turret fire, and they lost that one because of that overcommitment to Kinzon.
Bumalik, nag-back na sila.
Yeah, they could have moved back. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. But you know, maybe they just wanted to do more, but then it ended with a 4-0 exchange. But it was actually partly because IPT executed that one beautifully. So, ang ganda na turret dive na nangyari na yun, no? They actually split the turret aggro equally, so no one would take that much fire and die.
Kaya nga, talagang may kasabihan tayo na share your blessings. They're sharing the damage from that turret.
Tama.
And because of that, they manages to get 4 kill for their AD carry. And you know your gank is really worth it kapag yung AD carry mo talaga ay nakakuha ng ganun kadaming kill dito.
Yeah, yeah.
And take note, 14-minute mark, Infinity Edge is up for Kinzon. Very fast item for his champion dito.
Yes, but also take note that Vayne is an AD carry that can actually beat any other AD carry in a 1v1 fight. Kahit na lamang yung other AD carry in terms of items, she just needs the right terrain to fight with the Condemn, as well as, you know, enough mechanical skills to pull off a double lift or a Gosu.
Yes, a double lift or a Gosu. Pero ang talagang kailangan talaga, no, gaya na sinabi mo, pang 1v1 talaga siya. So if ever naman na may support tong si IPTB to win, yun lang yung magiging advantage niya dito. So kailangan niyang iwasan yung duel against a Vayne champion. So right now, 60 score. Dragon is still 40 seconds left before the Dragon respawn.
Yes.
And nakakatuwa talaga yung rotation up until now ngayon ng Empire. Yun nga lang, kailangan nilang baguhin yung ginagawa nilang yun nga yung sobrang miss ng kanilang mga skill shots dito.
Yeah.
And in terms of the decision making, medyo kailangan nilang mag-decide. Siguro pagdating sa shot caller, parang parang kung sino lang yung may masabi na. I mean, 'di ba? Usually it happens, 'di ba? Na wala kayong shot caller na parang may time, may nagtap, parang halo-halo na yung sinasabi nila.
Yeah, yeah. As well as nakikita rin natin yung difference in terms of mechanical prowess. Kasi it actually plays a part in the deciding factor of the game. But then, dun sa kasi, sa mga high-level competitive games like the LCS, LCK, it is assumed that everyone plays at the highest highest level of mechanics. So medyo hindi na masyadong
best of the best.
Yeah, the best of the best. Parang it's just a secondary factor for them. It's more of a team type of play. So ito nakikita natin yung difference in mechanics. So
and of course, top lane, Yuks have to use his W to root down itong si Hayes in the top lane. Hayes is still trying to do a difference, mga kaibigan, in the top lane too, but he's taking a lot of damage. No response from any other members of these two teams, mga kaibigan. And I think Hayes will go down. They have this Rajesh Glory. The onslaught has been used to disengage. However, the Dragon will go for the members of the IPT Blue once again. 6-3 score and a shutdown in the top lane from Yuks to Hayes.
You see, I saw a mechanical lapse in the part of Hayes. Hayes could have won that trade because he has the minion wave on his side, yet he used the onslaught of shadows to escape. That was a bad move. I mean, he could have ignited Yuks after the vengeful Maelstrom and used the onslaught of shadows to, to fear Yuks, which would then cause, for Yuks to have 1 second to 1.5 seconds of running around because of the fear. And he could have won that trade because the minions are on his side. So, you see, that's it's actually a huge factor in that trade. Because once the vengeful Maelstrom goes down, Maokai is actually kinda not that tanky at this point yet. So he could have taken him down because he has that Sheen, he has that Phage, he has the tools.
I think may one problem dito si Hayes in the top lane kanina because of what happened. Mayroon siyang trust issues.
Why? Okay, tell me.
Sa mga minions niya kanina.
Yeah.
Diba? Instead of letting his minion help him, he decided to go back away na lang.
Yeah.
Trust issues.
Yeah, baka meron din siya.
Hashtag.
Nawalan din siya ng trust sa sarili niya. It could have been a factor too, Minsan hindi sa tiwala ng iba yung nawawala. Minsan tiwala sa sarili mo.
Mas malalim siya. And still, kita-kita naman natin ngayon na medyo, gaya na sinabi mo, mukhang nakakabawi si Mihawk dito in terms of his item. No? Blade of the Ruined King is up.
Yes.
And I think, with regards to what Empire is doing, no, hinahayaan nila na mag-stay top lane si Hayes dito and push that turret hanggang second tier turret before he responds dito. And kasi usually after ng mga first tier turret, di ba, responde na kagad sila, tumutulong sila sa other lanes. Pero Hayes is still pushing, trying to push his luck on the top lane to stop Yukes from farming as well as of course getting their first tier turret. Ginamit na kanyang Righteous Glory to chase down Hayes dito. But Hayes is fast enough to use that hasty movement speed.
Okay. So IPT converging in the top lane, wanting to push this one down. Azir making his way up top, while Empire X Acclaim members actually scattered down at the bottom side of the map right here. And they're not doing anything to compensate for the top lane turret taken down by IPT. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Very questionable.
Very questionable play coming from Empire X Acclaim right here.
I wonder what happened. Pero, well, hiwalay sila eh. Siguro yun yung possible na reason dito. Oh my gosh, they caught Hayes dito. Ginamit ang kanyang assemble onslaught to disengage in the top lane. However, it's a 3 champion. Tatlong malaking tanking champion dito will kill Hayes in the top lane. I think they can just get this turret.
And you know, Empire X actually is not really doing anything about it. I'm not really sure what they're doing at this point. It's like Vayne is just pushing down the bot lane, which is quite understandable. But, you know, the other members are not making their way up top. I mean, what's wrong, man?
Baka trust issues.
Once again.
Once again. Anyway, well, we're looking at the other members of Empire dito. Tumama ang kanyang Glacial Prison to a very tanky champion as Maokai trying to disengage, but he got ignited, mga kaibigan. See the other members of Empire trying to chase down IPT Blue. Hayes used to teleport to the top, in the top lane dito with the use of his home guard. I think may home guard siya. Yes, home guard. But Rebenga, IPT trying to respond 4 versus 3. They still have the other members dito, but nasa bot lane yung kanilang ADR.
Yeah, so, you know, it was 2 turrets for like a champion kill, which I'd take the 2 turrets any day, man. That was the only move that they could go against.
Na landa sa mga kaibigan. Chok got caught, and you have to use the soldier's road block. Pero Rebenga trying to disengage. You have to use that flash. Chok still giving in a poke damage dito. Kinzon, you still have the on the hunt to use, and here comes the other members of IPT to respond, mga kaibigan. Napakabilis ni Yux dito. Ginamit ang kanyang Righteous Glory, but not enough to chase the other members of Empire. Chok diving in ng mag-isa, and that's just very wrong.
Yeah, that was the wrong move. Seeing that there's a pink ward right there for Empire X Acclaim. I mean, it could have been fine if the Empire X has no vision right there in that area, but seeing there's a pink ward and still pushing for an engagement, like he could have backed for like 1 second, 2 seconds before he decided to go in deep. But then, you know, he got caught out.
Nabulag siya dun sa may taas eh. Kasi kung tumama yun kay Morgana,
yeah, Morgana could have died.
pwede siguro niya mapatay pa si Morgana, and then at least worth for him.
But it's not the type of plays that IPT would want right now, because as they rely on Azir to, you know, to carry this game up into the late game. But seeing how things are going right now, looks like IPT is gaining a lot of footing against Empire X Acclaim because of their map control, the response time that it takes them to defend or, you know, to respond to the team fights that Empire X, you know, tries to engage in.
200 CS for both the AD carry and the mid laner of the IPT Blue dito, no?
Yes, so it looks like IPT or Empire X Acclaim is heavily outfarmed by IPT 22 minutes into the game. And they're actually leading by 3.6k gold right now, 2 turrets up and 2 dragons as well. Looks like IPT would be wanting to take this dragon, the 3rd dragon, 5% movement speed, and they're actually wanting to capture this position right here. Empire X actually has a nice warding around that dragon area, well aware that dragon's almost up, and looks like there's gonna be a team fight in this one. I think Empire X still has a chance in winning this one if they could just chain their crowd control abilities all at once and effectively. They could still win in a team fight.
They still have Sejuani.
Yeah, Sejuani and Hecarim back.
Heavy crowd control.
Oh, this is nice!
Gosh,
this is actually nice! I'm actually impressed with the decision-making IPT is doing right now. They traded the dragon for a 3rd tier turret, but then, you know, let's just do it. Let's just push. It's just a first dragon for them, and I really like the decision-making.
Dragon for second tier.
Yeah, it's a good trade actually for IPT.
That's the first dragon buff of the Empire, so very worth trade for the IPT Blue.
Yeah, and dealing a chip of damage for the third tier turret. I mean, that's what you need to expect for a first tier dragon. First dragon buff, and that's a really good trade coming from IPT. I really like their decision making right now. It's really impressive how, you know, from going, I think they noticed that Empire X Acclaim has really slow reaction time in terms of responding towards the decision making in terms of the objective that they take. So they just opted for, fine, let's just go for the second tier turret and, you know, maybe push the third tier turret. If, you know, the second tier turret wasn't alive at that time, I think they could have taken the third tier turret in that one. I mean, yeah, I'm just really impressed with how IPT Blue is playing this one, except for the parts
siguro,
that...
no? Siguro, as much as Empire is trying to win this game, ginagawa nila is that susubukan nilang mag-rely sa mga team fights na kaya nilang ipanalo dito. Pero,
yeah, but
looking at the lineup, hindi ganun yung kanilang lineup dito.
Also, if you could give out objectives like that, how you can't expect you to win most of the team fights.
Ooh, look at the damage from those soldiers na meron si Chok dito. Kapag nagkataon, Acclaim have to just get itong si Chok to make sure that they can win a team fight dito. At least tumama yung Glacial Prison from Tam to Chok. So at least, pag nakuha nila itong champion to at least Azir lang, I think they could win the upcoming team fights dito. They only have Azir. Well, Severe is as much as...
Severe is actually a super threat right now to them because of the 4-1-3 they gave out early on.
Phantom Dancer with the Infinity Edge and the Vampiric Scepter. Almost enough for, I think, malapit na siyang pag nabuo niya yung kanyang
Bloodthirster.
What do you think? Bloodthirster ba to? Or
I think it's gonna be a Bloodthirster. It's supposed to be a Bloodthirster, I think. Because he has the attack speed already coming from the buff of the Envy Hunt again with the Ricochet. So he could benefit more from the shield of the Bloodthirster.
Yeah, plus sobrang grabe yung front line nila dito. So, yeah, much better kung kukunin niya yung kanyang Blade of the Ruined King instead of the... the Bloodthirster instead of the Blade of the Ruined King.
Okay, so looks like, you know...
Once again, a hook has been used for Shadow dito. They have to secure this kill. Lucy taking so much damage. He got ignited. A snowball from Rebenga. The soldier will dive in, trying to chase him down. But Miyok is dishing so much damage for Rebenga. What a turnaround for the Empire X dito. Of course, Kinzon will try to dive in as well. He still have the final hour, but he will go down. They have to use that. Ayuk's trying to dive in against the other members of IPT Blue dito. The Empire X. They're still chasing them down. Lucy is still up, as well as Team Tam dito. But we have to make sure, they have to make sure that they could win this team fight, mga kaibigan. It's a 1-1 trade. IPT Yuk still chasing them down. W has been used, but here comes the spell shield from Cannon. And in total, it's a 1-1.
I actually thought that Empire X Acclaim would win that team fight. So let's see an instant replay on what happened in that engagement. So Acclaim Lucy actually was caught out of position right here, but the damage coming from Mihawk is just too great that Rebenga wasn't able to stand it. IPT Chalk with the timely use of that Emperor's Divide, and he actually flashes in this one just to escape Mihawk. And you know, without that exhaust coming from Chalk, he would have died in that Vein Dive right here. And this was actually a nice position for Chalk if the team fight dragged on in that area. But then, you know, Yukes actually went deep against Empire X Acclaim, just trying to CC someone out here just to maybe get one more kill out of that trade. However, that Black Shield coming from Morgana was able to prevent them from catching up in, you know, that area for Empire X Acclaim. So that was actually a good team fight coming from both sides, but then I think it went more to the side of IPT because they got a kill against Mihawk, which is a real threat, even though she's 0-3-1 right now and wearing that Phantom Dancer and Blade of the Ruined King. And as I have said, she's a champion. Vayne is a champion that can duel with anybody, any AD carry, as long as she has those attack speed items because of these passive, the Silver Bolts. And yeah, she can duel 1v1 with Kinzon any moment.
So right now, IPT Blue is taking the first battle of the game and they are not aware of it. Will they be able to get this one? Tam will try to steal this one, but no, not enough. Of course, it's a Nuno. Rebenga manages to get that Baron. The ultimate has been used by Chok. He's trying to disengage. Miyok is still up. He's being chased down by Yukes dito. One champion still alive, mga kaibigan. They're chasing down Yukes dito. Yukes, double kill for Miyok. They have to turn it around. It's a 3-4-1. What a turnaround for the Empire X dito.
Yes, that was to be expected actually, because actually they were spotted out by the ward by Empire X Acclaim, and they saw the animation coming from the Baron, and they actually were pinging out to the Baron area when the Baron has been started by IPT. So that was to be expected because they were at a disadvantage. IPT was in a disadvantageous position because they were taking Baron, and you know, they have used their skills, they have used their items, some of their items to expand in that area, and we can see, let's see an instant replay on what really happened. So we can see Rebenga, I think Rebenga dropped in this one because, you know, he was the one tanking Baron, and I thought Kinzon would surely drop just because Haste was would dive. But then, the Emperor's Divide, the timely Emperor's Divide saved Kinzon and gave her safe passage to kite away from that Baron pit and safely ensure them that two of their members would actually survive having that Baron buff. And that's what matters actually, that someone survives with the Baron buff so you can have additional laning pressure for your team. So that's what they actually need, plus that 300 gold for everyone.
The Dragon is up. This is the 4th Dragon of the game. If ever na makuha ng IPT Blue, this could be their 3rd Dragon,
yes,
which will give them movement speed.
Yeah, so no split push this time because the
and that's it for them. Once again, 3rd Dragon buff, mga kaibigan. He's from the backline, will try to dive in. The Emperor's Divide will try to stop the other members of Empire dito. Empire, Hubiok is still out, trying to dish out a lot of damage, but no good, mga kaibigan. The Soldier will try to stop him down, and 3-for-none exchange in favor of the IPT Blue.
And
what a turnaround.
And this is where you feel the pain coming from Azir, plus that blood boil coming from Rebenga. Grabe, ang sakit. Diba?
Ganda na position sobra.
Oo, ang ganda nung medyo off yung pagkaka-teleport ni Haze dun sa backside. And he got denied actually when he used the Onslaught of Shadows in that moment. And napakasakit ni Chok because of that Luden's Echo, that Morellonomicon, plus an unfinished Zhonya's Hourglass, giving him so much AP, plus the Blood Boil from Nunu, effectively increasing the DPS Azir deals in that teamfight. Wow, so much damage coming from IPT without dropping a single member, plus taking that dragon down. Grabe. Ang ganda nung teamfight na yun for IPT.
Talagang after gamitin ni Azir yung kanyang Emperor's Divide, tama ba?
Emperor's Divide, yeah.
Na-block lahat ng members ng Empire dito.
Yes.
Even Mihawk na nasa loob ng teamfight. As much as he want to disengage, he just can't take the damage coming from Chok dito. Nakita mo naman lahat na ng shield nasa kanya eh.
Yeah, as well as factor din yung maliit na range ni Vayne that he needs to get close in order for her to kite using the final hour and the tumble and effectively use it. Pero that was prevented by Chok by using that Emperor's Divide, and Vayne needed to get in that Emperor's Divide to deal damage to the carries. And, you know, IPT wouldn't just permit it. That's why they lost that team fight. So we can see here Haste actually trying to push down a bit.
Nila yung, ano, no? Yung movement speed
yeah,
dito.
5% increase in movement speed.
Siguro isa pang reason kung ba't nanalo sila sa teamfight kayo is because they have the Baron buff.
Yeah, that's also a factor.
Laki ng factor nun for their team.
Yeah, kasi lalo na yung carries pa yung may dala, no? Na sila yung natira dun sa teamfight in that Baron. So Severe and Azir actually carrying that Baron buff and buffing their capabilities, the attack damage and AP. So we can see a huge minion wave here in the bottom side. We can expect IPT to maybe extend this one right here. And I think they could actually split push up to the top lane, but I think they would just let it because Hecarim is actually the top lane without having any teleport. Because they know that Hecarim used his teleport in the teamfight, and this looks really, really bad for Empire X Acclaim.
They have to do something about it. Up until now, hindi pa rin nila alam kung dapat pa sila mag-defend or will try to push their luck on the other lanes dito. They only have Kinzon and Rebenga pushing this second tier in the bottom lane, and without any response coming from the other members of Acclaim, you just have to let that turret go away. Yeah,
that was an ill-advised push in the top for Empire X Haste. That was too far from the bottom side. They should know that there was a huge minion wave brewing in the bottom side of the map, and he still continued pushing the top lane without any teleport at all. How can he respond? That's a questionable call coming from Empire X Acclaim right here, and they paid for it by, you know, an uncontested second-tier turret in the bottom side, which IPT now uses to pressure the bottom side of the map with, you know, they have a super minions in the middle lane, so they have a two-pronged pressure right here. And looks like Maokai still wants to pressure some more in the top lane, you know, clearing out some waves first so that a minion wave would be brewing up there, and then, you know, maybe teleporting in the bottom side just to respond if ever Empire X Acclaim would decide to go for a team fight.
Actually, they're waiting for their chance to do an engage dito. They still have the buff from Nunu. Ang laki talaga ng advantage dito because they have Nunu using the Bloodlust to help Kinzon with his attack speed and movement speed to win the upcoming team fights dito. They could get this turret because of course yung pressure sa mid lane is just too much for them to handle. They can't respond if ever mapilitan dito. The teleport is being used by Yux to respond in the bottom lane. I think it's about time to
oh, the damage!
do an engage. Of course, Rebenga will go down. Wow, too much damage coming from Mihawk dito. The Emperor's Divide has been used by Chok. Kinzon is taking a lot of damage as well. Canon chasing them down. A dive in from Chok dito. Yux will go down. Empire, Mihawk is still up, dishing a lot of damage. Take it, mga kaibigan. They have the turret from Azir's passive, but it will go down from Mihawk. They have to chase them down. Two members of IPT Blue. Nanganganib ang kanilang HP dito.
Oh.
IPT Yux with a dodge from this Dark Binding. Tam is taking a lot of damage as well from the boomerang of Kinzon dito. Ricochet, you have to use that for the attack speed that he needs to dish out a lot of damage. Mihawk have to flash in. Tumble has been used. Passive has been as Brock, mga kaibigan. Condemned. Didn't stun Shadow dito. They can push this bottom lane until the second tier turret if they have enough tanky champion. But wow, the mid lane is being pushed by the super minion.
And this is actually part, I think, of IPT's maybe strategy, because they also have a large brewing creep wave that Yux actually set up earlier during their push, during his push in the top side before he teleported in the bottom lane. Now, they took down a third tier turret in exchange for, I think, 4 members of IPT. I think that's a worth it trade since, you know, it might additional pressure as long as they know how to keep up or maybe use that advantage.
Oh my gosh.
In their side. So
very risky move coming from the Empire dito. This Baron should get stolen by Rebenga if ever na he will try to risk this one. Will he be able to get this one? Or Rebenga will try to dive in, mga kaibigan. The onset of Shadow! Oh my gosh, what an early smite for the other members of Acclaim, but he manages to get that Baron. Lucy will go down. One more hit. No, he manages to disengage. And Mihawk got caught. 4 members of the Empire X goes down. IPT Chok. Super damage for their team. And they could end this game straight to the Nexus.
Empire X lost that one just because they engaged in that Baron pit. I mean, they had no choice. They were taking down Baron. And they lost that one just because Chok used the Emperor's Divide to zone out Vayne. And he did not have any place to run and to hide, even using with that that final hour. Kasi he used that Emperor's Divide and he has only a bit of leg space to move around, and you know the Emperor's warriors or the soldiers can actually poke him down, and looks like IPT would be taking this game 36 minutes and 44 seconds into it. 17-5, a 5k gold lead, 6 turret lead, and 2 dragon leads plus 1 Baron each. And yes, so that would be the game. And here are the winners actually for the watch and win.
Never enough.
Yun.
So, yun nga, congratulations sa ating mga watch and win winners for the third game or for the second game kanina. We have Say GG, Mandel, Jal, Bidel, 50 Shades of Grey, WKP, Zentori, Lord, Master King. We have TT, Tetsuya, Kuroko, Marky.
Okay, I got Svenia, Adam Levine, Mr. Versatility, Easy Game, Easy Life, MST Mats, and Vern X.
So much for the creative IGNs.
Yes, so let's see the endgame stats actually coming from IPT and Empire X Acclaim right here. So we can see the point person actually, the most gold earned in this game is Kinzon. I think it most probably stemmed from that quadra kill.
Hindi mo ganun nakikita yung ano niya, no, yung highlight sa kanya during the team fights kasi he's just dishing a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean nothing fancy, just throwing out boomerangs every once in a while. And talaga ang nagpa-flashy defend dito si Chok is commendable Emperor's Divide, no? Some questionable plays, but mainly, maganda yung mga Emperor's Divide niya. That's what won them this game, as well as coordination. Good coordination coming from the other members of IPT. Natupad yung kanilang team plan na patagalin yung game na to. You know, win some mid-game team fights with against Empire X Acclaim and drag this game long enough to maximize the capacity of Azir. And that unexpected actually quadra kill coming from Kinzon, making him that carry also
Kasi medyo sa Empire na top lane, lamang talaga si Hayes dito Dito because of the, yung pag-drag nila hanggang mid-game, hanggang to late game dito. That gave the IPT the advantage.
So, we see that games played, Imperium Pro Team Blue actually has 1 game played and they won that one. So if actually they win the next game, they would have 3 points and they would be on par with Mineski having 3 points as well. So we'll see if Acclaim Empire X would have a counter strategy to that Shurima-based playstyle of IPT, or will IPT bring out something else to, to bring to the table?
Tignan natin. Yeah. Kung anong gagawin ngayon ng Acclaim Empire X. So, ayun lang mga kaibigan. Sa lahat ng mga ka-tune pa lang, you're watching the Pro Gaming Series 2015.
Summer Split. Wait for it. It's legendary.
So, kakatapos lang ng match between the IPT Blue versus the Acclaim Empire X.
Yes.
Meron pa tayong next game dyan. So, again mga kaibigan, bago tayo mag-break, in-invite ko kayo magpunta sa Animax Convention tomorrow hanggang Sunday yan. Meron tayong Got Annie na pinamimigay na code dyan kapag nag-visit kayo sa aming booth. Also, 200 yung kanyang entrance. We have GM Kyrox tomorrow and GG Sphere on Sunday.
Yes, so we'll be there. So please drop by.
Yes. Again, mga kaibigan, thank you so much for watching. We'll be right back after a few-minute break. I am GG Sphere.
And I'm GM Kairu.
See you later.
A grand skyfall onto Kazik. Siya ang primary target. The key is just to stand.
Ooh, but a possible dash here. The ult from Oni lands onto Trey. TG in the backline right now, hammering down. The Dragon, the hook lands once again onto AJTY. The solar flare comes up. A teleport coming from Porosu. Wow, a two-man engage na ginagawa ng mga ADR. Okay, engagement. Okay, so bakbakan by Sencho. There is the spell shift from Exo. Who is flash? Dalawang teleport dito sa bottom lane. If you say it's the initiative onto the Ari. Pagbalik ng Spirit Rush. She was shut down actually by the Annie. Patas-patas.
Yeah.
Okay. Unstoppable force. By Hayes. Crashes in Teamers. All in that. 4-man. Actually 5-man SS. Mula sa Sejuani. Double kill po.
Okay. Right now he locks in team. And he might die from this flash will be used. And the kill will go to skill. Hecarim enters the fight as well. Absolute Zero will explode. 4-man, 5-man shockwave. That was beautiful.
There's a teleport na magagalit mula sa side at Naga Esports. They're now on the skill, but Divas got down from the side. There is Daigo, Orb of Deception, through damage, and one hit onto Ito. Doom still gonna tunnel through with a knockoff land onto 2 members. That's gonna be Luxuria jumping out. Ito getting very low. Luxuria trying to do damage again from the back line. Ito and actually gonna survive from the TP comes in, but first blood goes over onto Luxuria. That's gonna be tied in more, and here comes the engage onto Jasky. Wow, another ult landing onto Jasky there. Kulit also receiving a lot of damage, but the ult again locks down 3 people, and that's getting very low. All the tanks here a little bit squishy, and Exo gets another kill for himself. There's the focus onto Oni, onto Ito, onto Luxuria.
More middle with and
but there's gonna be another 2-man lockdown there. Jaspi deleted from that team fight, and skill is gonna be taken out as well. Double kill for TG.
And Boy Sanity will get bursted down. Crucible onto himself. Coops goes in a group of 3 of GameX Warguns. And right now,
coming from Epic, and now Hayes gonna be focusing all the cooldown onto him as well as the Ignite. It might not even be needed, but he's gonna kite himself back. Stronger flashing in once again, landing the hook as well, and the support has It's gonna be pretty scary, and the 4-man all coming from Vitality as well as all coming in from 8. He's gonna knock up his member.
Animax Carnival Philippines is back. Get ready for a special performance by cosplayer Alodia. Get your favorite anime merchandise. Check out all the exciting, fun-filled activities and the much-awaited Animax cosplay competition on the 30th and 31st of May at the Animax Carnival Philippines 2015. Log on for more details. Brought to you by Royal True Orange and Brother. Animax Carnival Philippines